Good evening, everyone. My name is Celso Batalha, and I will be teaching this Introduction to Astronomy course at Evergreen Valley College. This is an intersession, and it's starting January 2nd, is a Wednesday, and closes on January 24th. It's a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure you all will succeed in this course. It's a fast-paced, you have activity pretty much every day. You choose this type of setting, and I'm pretty sure um, you can match the challenge that's going to be given to you. So what I'm going to do now is to go quickly and browse through the course. What you're seeing here is the opening page of the course. We have the introduction, evergreen. I have a welcome uh, blurb for you. And usually the course is divided in module, and in fact, the module itself is divided in units. So there are basically a unit 0, which I will go through, but doesn't say much besides just a welcome letter to you all. I have a video I will post it right here with the orientation that I'm just doing right now. And I have an updated syllabus, and I will always have it here. And this is how you submit assignments and how do I view and submit quizzes. But basically, what you need to know is pretty much right here: Unity 1, Unity 2, Unity 3, 4, and 5. So you have 5 units and a final exam. Okay. So let's start with unit number 1. The unit number 1, it focuses on night sky movements, and I'm not gonna do any teaching now. I'm just gonna say basically what we are covering in that unit is pretty much what you see in the night sky and the type of movements that we observe in the night sky, like Earth spin on its axis, Earth revolution around the sun, and one that is less detectable, and that is precession of equinox, that you need to accumulate records for more than 100 years, but it affect, at least in our historical records, the way we see and we mark sky events. So in this unit, we have 4 self-tests, and each self-test covers a specific uh, block of information that is available in our book. And all of that is pretty much summarized in a midterm. As you can see, the self-tests, they are worth of 10 points, and the midterm is worth of 100 points. So the self-tests, they consist on 5 questions, multiple choice, and you can do up to 5 times. Does that make sense? So I would recommend that each day you do one of these self-tests. In fact, I'm organized this course so that every day you are submit one of these self-tests. If you work, you get home, and then you read through the recommended course material. I even have my class notes for each one of these self-tests available. You can open and go through. And in a couple of days, I will upload a video with explanations to each one of these files, these PDF files, these slides, which work as a class, kind of a class lecture. But I will try to keep them in 10 minutes. So it's not extensive at all. It's 10 minutes or less. I'm going to go through the slides. There are 10 or 15 slides, it's one. So you would open your self-test, for instance. This is an example. You open self-test number 1, and then we have a few slides, and I explain in this particular case what is the scientific method exactly is, and what type of objects we can find in the night sky, and that is pretty much the introduction. And towards the end of these slides, I have some words that I would like you to remember and investigate, and so on and so on and so on. And then you go back to your unit, and then you can do self-test number 1, right? So now I'm kind of seeing this self-test as a student. In fact, let me see it as a teacher. And then, but basically you would be able to go over some multiple choice questions. Scientific theory can be proved wrong if, and then you choose one of them. So you have 5 questions and 5 chances to get your highest score. And again, I recommend this to be done every day. So every day. So if the classes start on January 2nd, so this is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then on the January 5th here, you have a midterm. So the midterm encompassed the subject that was explored on self-test 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that has to do with student learning outcome number 1 of this particular course. Okay. Now, I also have a discussion. You see, the points are not a lot, but this discussion is when I congregate the class into a forum, and we are going to explore the latest news in astronomy. In fact, students are invited to post the latest news in astronomy, and then I will comment on that. Students who post first will receive some more points. Students who participate will receive points. And altogether, these discussions will be part of an extra credit type of budget that, along with the final exam, it gives the students an extra 10% of their course grade as a bonus. So I recommend you to participate and to get involved on that. So unity number 2 is the nature of light and applications. And again, we have the same scheme. I have a introduction that I tell what we're going to do, what's going to be described, and what are the mandatory assessments available. And then we go in the second part with the reading material and some animations or some simulations that I think are important and give support to what we do. So they are all here. And then we go to the self-test again. My files are available. And then, as I explained, I will have a video associated with these files. The video will not be more than 10 minutes. And once you're done, you can take your self-test. And you can take up to 5 times. So I'm expecting that you reserve every day 1 hour to go over this subject. Okay, probably more. I would recommend 2 hours if you don't have any basic information on astronomy. And you see that it repeats itself always. There are always, for each unit, there are 4 self-tests, 1 midterm, and a discussion. So at the end of it, we have a final exam, which is comprehensive. And as I mentioned before, this final exam will give you some bonus points, basically. You do need to complete these exams, or this final exam is mandatory, but you should see it as a bonus point. So let me go over the syllabus. The structure of the course is right there. So let me show you the syllabus. I might make small changes to the syllabus just to accommodate the schedule in case we go off on some of these issues, but basically that's what it is. I have a block in which I explain how you should communicate with me. We will have daily contacts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1 or by appointment. I don't want you to feel isolated. Um, and the best time that I could think of is at noon. If noon doesn't work for you, it's the middle of the day, you're working or you're eating a sandwich or something, contact me and then we can try something else. If the class altogether prefers some other time, I am flexible. I can make the changes, but I would like the class altogether to let me know. And all these meetings are done in Zoom platform. So zoom.us, if you click right here, you see all the events already pre-scheduled. So you just, for instance, on the first day, January 2nd, at noon, we should have, this gathering. And I would tape all of that information and I upload it later um, on Canvas. And then you can, this gathering, what am I gonna do in these office hours? I will answer questions, but I will also run some animations that will support the material we are studying at that particular day. And once I run these animations, I will upload it on Canvas. So the way I do, I will always try to have um, one encounter in advance so that when you go, for instance, self-test number one, this encounter was already done in the day before and the video is already available for your perusal. So basically, that is what I mean by office hours. I can meet you at Evergreen if you request, but you have to email me and make an appointment. I recommend you start to upload materials as soon as you can, and because I would drop students who are not working, believe it or not, on the second day of class. So you should start to populating your grade sheet with submissions, and the submissions is basically the self-test. How about a book? Do you need to buy a book? No. The book is OpenStax. You can download the entire book and just have it in your mobile device, or you can print out, which I don't recommend, or you can buy in the bookstore. So whatever you want to do. But I do have all this book content available here. So for instance, unit number 1, recommended course material. I have all the chapters listed that you need to read. So if I recommend, in fact, before you go to the self-test and through my notes, I recommend that you read the chapter that I'm posting here. Read chapter 1, read chapter 4, read chapter 3. That's the order that I'm presenting the course in the unit 1. So when you go to unit 2, uh, the chapter books from OpenStax that I'm using is right there, chapter 5 and chapter 17 and 18. So as you can see, I'm kind of organizing the course using the book content in OpenStax, but trying to make it adaptable to the course content that I see as more efficient to deliver this information and this subject to you. And then we go back to, sorry about this thing here. In fact, we were in the syllabus. There you go. And then, and that is so much for the book. Observatory, we do have an observatory, and we might have some public viewing in January, in which case I will invite you all, and that is going to be for an extra credit. Learning outcomes, our course is based on our learning outcome, and Canvas is going to be our platform. If you haven't used Canvas before, there is a nice link with introduction to it. and I explain how this course is organized. The extra credit's gonna be the final exam and the discussions, and I have the midterms, and that's it. Now, I don't know if you guys, or if any of you want to be a STEM student or professional. In other words, if you want to go ahead in your career and become a scientist in the fields of astronomy, engineering, or space sciences or computer science. So if you are, I recommend that you read the information about Compare and Cowbridge. Those two programs are for underrepresented minorities and attempted to partner students in the Cal State with the UC system. So if you are on track to be a scientist, I don't know if you are, but if you are, contact me and I would like to give some more information about these two programs. Here's my grade policy. If you want to make an A, you have to have more than 90%, B is more than 75, C is more than 60, and D is more than 50. You don't want to have a D or an F in this course. And in fact, my intersection course is one that the students in general do quite well because you guys are packing and paying attention and are very committed to the course. So I have my to-dos in here, also in the syllabus. And if you need any special accommodation, make sure you contact me by January 3rd, Thursday, and so that I can provide you with your needed support. How exams or midterm, the self-tests are done on your own, so you don't need any sort of a special environment to do. But the midterm, there are two options here. You can do at home, or you can do in a proctored setting with me, and I will announce where I'm going to be. Certainly, I will be not in a Starbucks, but I will be in Evergreen, probably in room SA115 on the day of the exam at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Okay, but you can do at home. So to do exam at home, you must have a Chrome browser in your computer. You cannot have Explorer, you cannot use Safari, you cannot use Firefox or Mozilla. So it has to be Chrome. And Chrome must require an extension called Proctorio. So this is all free. So if you are using Chrome browser, when you click on the exam, it's gonna allow you to do the exam as long as you have a camera embedded in your computer, and as long as you are alone in the room, as long as you don't have a second window open, and as long as you are not communicating with somebody else. So the camera is gonna follow all your movement, and that is weird. Some students don't like that, but that's the way that's the agreement to have your exam proctored, but not um, but not uh, with somebody next to you like me. So you can stay at home, but the camera is going to be on, kind of tracking your movements. So you are required to show your student ID in the very beginning of the exam, and also to show your cheat sheet. I allow you to bring one cheat sheet with basic notes written on it. You can write on the front and back, so that your exam can be done. Okay. Now, this completes the orientation. If you have any specific questions, you can always email me, and I will be glad to reply to you. Okay, have a wonderful 2019. I'm sending this on December 31st. I wish you a great 2019 with a lot of realizations, and I'm excited to start this course with you. And please email me with questions, and I will be very happy to answer them. All right.